It's been a little while, but we got family and holidays and all that stuff. But what did I miss really? Nothing. Nothing's happened since the last time we posted, but I guess y'all might want a few things from me. So let's see if we can run down our end of the year awards in a minute or less. How about that? All right, Tommy. All right, fighter of the year. It's only between two people. It's between Ilia Topuria and Alex Pereira. Alex Pereira did amazing, 3 knockouts, 3 wins. That's cool. But Ilia Topuria, he beat 2 legends and knocked them out, one of which hadn't ever been knocked out. So I got to give mine to Ilia Topuria. Female fighter of the year. Weird situation. The 3 champs only fought once, and none of those wins were necessarily inspiring. So I had to look outside of that, and one fighter that caught my eye was Jasmine Jasdavicius. 3 fights, 3 wins, 2 subs. I got to give it to her. Fight of the year. This one was rather easy. Major event, major spectacle, UFC sphere. I got to give it to Esteban Ribovic versus Daniel Zellhuber. It was a scrap I couldn't turn away. That was dope. And last thing, breakout fighter of the year. Also very, very easy. Carlos Prates did his thing all year and made it look easy. We'll see if he can top that this year. There you go. Easy. Awards. Did I make my time? I think I did. So let's get into the meat and potatoes of what I want to talk about today. I think a lot of people look at the YouTube space, MMA YouTubers, and a lot of it is negativity. So I don't want to do that. I want to be positive. If anybody knows me, sees me in lives, things like that, I'm a positive person. So I'm going to go with some positivity here. So we're going to talk about some optimism for 2025 for the UFC. So I got a few things, and of course, jump into those comments. Let me know what you think, yay or nay. You think I'm crazy? Let me know. I always like to have those conversations. It's dope. So let's go into the first one. The first one is women's MMA gets better in 2025. 24 was a weird year for women's MMA because of the inactivity of the champions. We had some fighters who have name value that did fight, but nobody really moved the needle. And you could see that in a lot of different chat rooms and things like that, comment sections, that people were really, really down on women's MMA. So I think it gets better. I think that's an uptick. And a large part of that is because of Kayla Harrison and the rivalry or potential rivalry that she could have with either Juliana Pena and or Amanda Nunes. If she is able to get Amanda Nunes off of the retirement couch, then I think that will push the women's MMA needle to a new height, I would think, because as we know, rivalries are what create spectacle, and spectacle is what creates eyeballs or brings eyeballs in to watch those particular events. If Kayla Harrison is able to do that for women's MMA, that'd be great. That'd be great for them. If not, then they're going to have to start to get creative, but we'll see how that goes. But I think that they do put more attention and invest more time into building up women's MMA, and it gets better. The next one, I think everybody knows this is coming, but optimistic about this happening. John Jones will fight Tom Aspinall in 2025. I think it's inevitable. I think it's going to happen. I think there's been too much pushback as far as like how it would taint John Jones's legacy if he doesn't fight him. And I don't think that it was ever necessarily something that he was 100% against. I think he just wanted to be compensated fairly for the risk that he was about to take. And I think that they do, and I think it will happen. It may happen International Fight Week. Who knows? But that's just a guess, but I do think it will happen. The next one, and this one is very important, and we really need this to happen. Conor McGregor stays away. Conor McGregor has been doing this teasing situation with us for over a year and a half, 2 years, a Michael Chandler thing. And I think that we're tired of it, and it's affected his brand, amongst other things, obviously. So I think that it's best for him and for us as fans to just be done with that part of his legacy, that part of his career. We don't need to see him back in the octagon to prove anything. He's done what he's done, and I don't think it's going to get any better than what he's already done. So go ahead and fight your gimmick fights and make your money. You have bigger fish to fry, clearly. So Conor McGregor stays away. That would be great for everybody involved. The next one, and this one pains me to say it, but veterans retire. So there's some veterans that are kind of hanging on, and I think it's time to set up those last fights and start to usher in the new crop of contenders. So those veterans that I'm referring to, there's a list. There's, unfortunately, I'll say this, but Dustin Poirier, Colby Covington, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, Jan Blachowicz, Anthony Smith, Holly Holm, Misha Tate, Henry Cejudo, Dominic Cruz. Even though I know that Cruz and Cejudo just recently got fights, I think the divisions will start to move forward once we are past the older veterans in those divisions being a part of conversations that sometimes they don't need to be a part of. So I think that things will be a little bit smoother and things will start to move forward when a lot of those veterans retire. The next one, and this is a big one, and I've been championing this for a while, and that's ESPN. The ESPN deal is about to be up, and I think that the UFC in 2025 needs to really seriously look at going elsewhere. And I put in quotations or in parentheses Netflix. I really think that that's probably the best place for them to go, and I hope that they really entertain that. They have started to, Netflix has started to push the WWE and as well as the NFL. And the way that they've been presenting those, I've watched both of those events, and the presentation is really good. Like, I was worried initially about how that was going to work after the Jake Paul and Mike Tyson debacle when servers were crashing and things were freezing and buffering, and it looked like we were watching it on AOL online or something. Since the amount of people watching is much, much lower, I think that they've been able to handle it, and it looks a lot better. And I think that this particular litmus test is going to bode well for the UFC putting a lot of their property on Netflix. So I think that's something that you definitely take a look at in 2025. They're probably looking at it as we speak. And the last one, and this is the most important one for me, the ticket prices improve. I am hoping that the UFC looks at the metrics, looks at their data models, and even though they've been selling out a lot of events, I don't know how many of those are false sellouts where, you know, there's blocks of tickets that don't actually get sold to individuals. But I hope that they are reasonably looking at even the fight nights to bring down the ticket prices to prices that are conducive to regular households being able to buy tickets. You know, it's very hard to plan a trip to go see a UFC event when the ticket price is astronomical. You know, you're paying more for the tickets to the event than it is the travel and the hotel. Like, it doesn't make it worth it to even do something like that. So hopefully they take a look at that, and hopefully those prices improve. I am hoping that they are on the road more often, and that'll also increase the prices, you know, supply demand sort of things. We'll see, man. But that one is really kind of a hope. I honestly don't have that much hope that that's gonna actually happen, because, you know, they're money hungry. They're gonna make their money, but it is what it is. So yeah, those are my thoughts as far as being optimistic about this year. But let me know in the comments, what do you think about the ones that I chose, as well as what other things are you optimistic about for the UFC this coming year. Till next time.